grow or exist in vacuum. So many things a person acquires in the society. He grows in the society, he matures in the society and adapts himself or herself according to the customs and mores and values of the society. So, this becomes essential for us to understand what do we actually mean by a group. Let us say our topic basically is group dynamics. See how in this picture, show the slide, how in this picture a person is placed in a group. So, we will see what do we actually mean by a group. Man is born in society and man grows up and matures in society. Man adopts himself to the society by action and reaction with other members of society. Behavior of an individual is influenced by the customs, values and traditions of society. Personalities do not exist in vacuum, but to a large extent depends upon social environment. It is society that makes individuals cultured. Almost everything that he or she learns is acquired from society. Only the capacity of learning is his or her own. It is in society that his ego develops, whereby he or she is called a human being. It is the society where a person acquires, say, the necessary knowledge, skills and disposition that make him an acceptable member of his own group. I mean, when a person join any group, so these are the skills, knowledge and disposition that will enhance or sharpen the knowledge of a person, so that the person, that individual can become an acceptable member of that group. In this process, an individual learns to behave in accordance with social traditions, mores and thus becomes able to adjust in the society, which is essential to stay happy and contribute for the society. I mean here, if any individual is not able to make adjustment in the group and do not acquire the skills how to go with the group, how to deal with the other members of the group, will not be able to adjust in the group and he or she will not be able to stay happy. If the person is not happy, then won't be able to contribute for the society. So, it becomes essential for the part of the individual, one has to make adjustment in the society, in the nation itself to contribute his or her skills and knowledge. See how the person are sitting in a group on a round table and having a discussion on some issue, so that they can reach on any conclusion. What do we actually mean by a group? Let us define. According to P. Gisbert, a very famous psychologist, a group is, a social group is the collections of individuals interacting on each other under a recognizable structure. See, the focus here is on recognizable structure. The structure of the group matters much. What should be the size of the group and how the person can influence each other. Then the next psychologist, Lee Bourne, what he says, when human beings have been transformed in a group, it puts them in the possession of a sort of collective mind which makes them feel, think and act in a manner quite different from those in which each of them feels, thinks and acts when he is in a state of isolation. Let us define more this definition. Lee Bourne wanted to say that when a person is moving isolated or individually, the manner of his feeling, thinking and acting was different. But when the person is placed in a group, so the feeling of the group or actions or thoughts or values of the group may influence the person to feel, think and act in a different manner. So, according to this definition, we can say when a person is placed in a group, the manner he thinks, feels or acts automatically changes by the influence of the group. See, an individual is alone, but when placed in a group, so many minds are focusing on any problem, then the conclusion or the result of a problem or any discussion will be better. A collection of individuals becomes the group as the members accept a common task, becomes independent in its performance and interact with one another to promote its accomplishment. I want to explain it more. See, there is a task when a collection of individuals or so many people are thinking or meditating on a problem. So many minds when are focusing on a problem, so many ideas will come out, then the result or the conclusion will be better and the problem will be solved in a dignified and better manner. See, what are the characteristics of a group? How can we define? It is a unit of two or more individuals. The members of group shares a set of beliefs, values and norms. It has a common purpose, objective or goal. See, when the person are moving in a group, the purpose of the task or the activity will be common. If the purpose is common, only then all the members of the group will be meditating or focusing or working on the same task, and objective or goal must be the common because it will force or influence the members of the group to meditate on one task. There is a we feeling among the members of a group. When so many persons, so many individuals join a group, then a sort of we feeling develops among them. It is better for the development of the personality or development of the group. In that case, all the members of the group can contribute for the group, for the society. The relations among members are interdependent. No one is perfect, no one is dependent. Everyone has to be dependent on each other. So this kind of interdependence within the group makes the work perfect. The members form a set of norms of behavior and everyone has to follow the norms of behavior because some kind of rules and regulations and goals are set by the members of the group, and everyone, each member of the group have to adhere to the norms of the group. A group is stabilized in some degree at the time to regulate the behavior of the individual. See, just now I have said that everyone has to adhere to the norms of the group to regulate the behavior of the individual. It can't be possible that the different members, they want to move in a different manner. Everyone has to follow the rules and regulation of the group. That will be possible when everyone is following the rules. The group has conscious as well as unconscious unity. The members of the group may interact or communicate with each other directly or indirectly, but the communication is must. If there is no communication between the members of the group, they won't be able to express their ideas, and if there is no democratic setup in the group, no one will be able to express their views, and this way the decisions of the group will be authoritative and they may not be accepted by the members of the group. So it is essential when there a group is formed, the discussion or communication must be there within the group, and each member of the group must have the opportunity to express their opinion. The final decision will be taken by the conclusion or the meeting in a group, but opinion should be sought out. See how in this picture each member is contributing to reaching the goal. So this slide, this picture is really very meaningful. Students can learn from such kind of pictures when shown in the classroom, that each member is helping each other to reach the destination, to reach the goal. Then what are the essential components of a group? How can we come to know that a particular group is formed in a proper manner, we have to follow, we have to understand what are the essential components of a group. First is well motivated. As earlier I have spoken on this issue, that the goals of the group should be set, should be common, so that each member of the group becomes a motivation for the other member, because the goal is common, the objectives are common. So, when one person is performing something good, it will become a motivation to the other member of the group. So, each member is motivating each other, it is must, but it will be possible when the goals and objectives of the group are common. Second is the interdependence. No one is perfect in the society. We need help of each other somewhere. So, member of the group are just depending on each other, that kind of a cooperation and we feeling must be there in the group, that we need the help of the other person at this juncture, then the person may be helping me in another task. So, this kind of interdependence is must in a group. Then the organization. Group must be organized, meaning by the goals which are set by the group must be acceptable to each and every member. In this manner, it will remain as an organized form. Contribution of member is the next component, because when everyone is getting the chance to contribute its own skills, its own knowledge, its own talent, then it is possible that all kinds of knowledge, all kinds of talent is coming before the group, because there is diversity in the members of the group. So, size of the group also matters when each member is contributing its knowledge, its skills in a different manner. Then the structure. What do we mean by structure? When we say that structure is an important component of a group, the highest authority should be respected and all the decisions, all the powers should be vested with the person who is the president or chairman or the position holder in a group. Because if it is not there and everybody is making his or her own decisions, then there will arise anarchy in a group. So, the authority should be vested in the some president or chairman who is of the group. So, this way the decision which is taken by the higher authority in the group must be acceptable to the other members, but at the same time there must be a democratic setup. When I say it should be a structure, it does not mean that whatever has been said by the authority or the president or the chairman of the group will have to be followed by the other members. No, each and every member of the group should get the opportunity to express his or her own opinion, and the final decision will be taken by the authorities, and it must be acceptable to everyone, so that it is beneficial for all. So, these are all components of a group. I am revising. It is well motivated, interdependence, organization, it should be structured, and there should be a democratic setup. So, when all these components are well taken care of, we can say that a group is well established group. Next is the how can we classify the group? Now, basically there are three kinds of group. First group is the primary group. Primary group is known when there is a face-to-face relationship among its member, like our family members. When we are having a close relationship with a member of the group, then we say it is a primary group. And the secondary group, more or less casual relationship among its members, like we join trade unions, or we join some group or committee, or we are the member of some cell, then there is not a permanent or close relationship within the member of those group, like trade unions or some club. We will call it a secondary group. And the third is the tertiary group, quite transitory relationships for very short moment. For example, there is audience in a cinema hall. We meet for a short while and then we become a member for short time. So, these are three kinds of group. First is the primary group, second is the secondary group, and the third is the tertiary group. In the first one, there is a close relationship among its members, and in the second group very less time, and tertiary group is very few minutes or few hours, that is audience in the cinema hall. Then the next is the role of class as a group. The class group itself proceeds with an extensive program which is based on the power and capacities as well as abilities of its members, like the students. As a group, the class performs the following functions. See, first is the providing power. When different members, different individuals are moving in a group, we are helping each other. This way we provide power to each other, we are helping each other. Second is the providing information. Everyone in a group is having his or her own talents in his specific area. So, this way different people are providing different kind of information to the different members of the group. This way one becomes rich in the information resources, and on the another part, receiving information, when one is providing information and another is receiving information. So, we can say that in a group different people are enhancing their knowledge in different fields. It becomes a motivation for each other, because when a group member is noticing that a particular person is very developed in the field of arts or the music or in teaching or in play. So, this way another person is getting motivated by the performance, by the activities, by the skills of the another member. So, this way the class or a group motivates the members of each other. It provides extension. Providing extension here means we are just developing the powers of each other, we are helping each other. This way we provide extension. Expressing opinion is very important. When we are moving in a group, we see that the opinion of individuals are sought. Everyone is able to express the views that this is my view. So, when we share the views, we see it increases the power of reasoning, because logical thinking or reasoning must be developed. So, this way we develop each other reasoning power, because we are having discussion on some issue in a group. This way the reasoning power, logical thinking or mental abilities are also improved in a group, because we are just having a healthy discussion. This way this is very important. It provides extension services and enhancing the power of reasoning and logical thinking. Then there is the next point, that is the evaluation. How the class as a group increasing the power of evaluation, meaning by when the people are having discussion in a group, they can judge whether the hypothesis to solve a problem were fine one or it can be rejected. So, in a group, after having the discussion, we can evaluate as a group member. Students can evaluate their self whether the hypothesis, whether the solutions which were sought out, which were planned to solve the problem are fine, or can be selected or rejected. This way they can evaluate their performance. So, this way the group develops the reasoning power, thinking power, and develop or enhance the skills of the members of the each and every member of the group. Then I would like to say, what do we mean by the group dynamics? See in the next slide how the group dynamics. After knowing what do we mean by group, we will see in what do we mean by group dynamics. Meaning by the term dynamics is derived from a Greek word which means force. Dynamics means force. A phrase group dynamics refers to the forces operating in a group. As earlier I have said that when person is moving in a group, then various forces, various factors influence the member. So, in this second part we will see what do we mean by group dynamics. What are those forces in a group? Those forces are, first is the attitude. See how the attitude of the learners or the different members of the group influences the others members, because this is said that these days this is our attitude, not the altitude, not the aptitude which takes us to the altitude. So, attitude is very important force in a group. Then the beliefs and actions. I have spoken just now that the beliefs, goals and objectives should be set in a group and it should be accepted by each and every member. So, what are the beliefs and actions of a group? It influences the action and reaction of the members of the group. So, this is very important to know what are the beliefs of a particular group, because in a class we sometime as a teacher try to set the right attitude of the learners, and we try to, as a teacher, we try to take care of what are the beliefs prevalent in the society and how we have to set the mind of our students, what should be the beliefs on this particular issue of the students. Certain obstructions from the group. Sometimes some obstructions are there in a group which impedes the progress of the group, as there is the diversity in the members. Sometimes one idea is given, one opinion is expressed by one group, and sometimes the other member may not like, and the obstructions from the other side come out, and it becomes very difficult to form a particular idea, particular opinion and to reach the goal. So, sometimes this obstructions in a group forces the individual to act or react in a different manner. Then frustration in the achievement of group objectives. So, when such kinds of obstructions or obstacles come in the fulfillment of the goals, then there comes the frustration on the part of the members, and they feel that now the goals are difficult to achieve because there is a different opinion, or there is some, it should be taken care of that some kind of different gangs, or it should not be formed, and there should be unity. Every member in the group should perceive the group as a unit. Cliques can be stopped from being formed. You know, in a group, suppose there are 40 members in a group, it is natural that some kind of cliques are formed. Cliques we mean by close relationship between 2 or 3 persons. So, it is natural in a group cliques are formed, but these cliques should not be converted into a gang sort of, then the group is likely to disturb and it will not remain in its existence and group will be disturbed. So, cliques it should be tried that less cliques should be formed, because all the members should perceive the group as a single unit, because sometimes this kind of cliques they disturb the or distort the group. Then group training is better than individual training, and moreover when person is moving in a group, then training is easy to be given in a group instead of individual. Why? Let me give you example. When you ask any individual to get training for this particular activity, may not be motivated, may not feel interested, but when that individual sees that all my peer group, all my friends are following it, then it becomes a motivation for each other, and they will in the beginning by force they will sit in that training, and later on it is quite possible that force or that pressure may turn into the interest of the child. So, it is a really natural way to train the person in a group instead of individual. So, group training is always better than the individual training. See, what are the stages? What are the stages of group formation or group dynamics? See, first is the forming, and the next is the storming, then norming and performing, and then task is completed and adjourning. How? Let me explain how the forming is. It is characterized by a great deal of uncertainty about the group's purpose, structure and leadership. This stage is complete when members have begun to think of themselves as part of a group, because in the beginning, when the group is in the stage of formation, sometimes the objectives are not clear, goals are not clear. So, there is some kind of uncertainty, and this is complete when members have begun to think of themselves that we are as a part of a group. And second stage is the storming. At this stage, members accept the existence of the group, but there is resistance to the control that the group imposes on individuality. As in the components, I have spoken on structure part that the power should be vested in the higher authority of the group. But sometimes when that higher authority tries to impose the decisions or the conclusions of the group, sometimes the individual members of the group may not like it and may feel that the person is behaving like a boss, we are not going to accept. So, this kind of resistance comes out in the group, and there we have to maintain balance. This is the guidance or advice for the authorities of the group, that they should not become like authoritative person. They should try to maintain a democratic setup in the group, so that storming stops. Then the third stage is the norming. This stage is one in which close relationship develop and the group demonstrate cohesiveness. What is cohesiveness? This is to what extent, till what time members of the group want to remain in a group. See, the members will definitely would like to remain in the group as far as their opinion is sought out and their dignity, their opinion is respected. So, authorities or the other members of the group have to take care of it, that the decisions of the group should not be like an imposition. The other members which are at the which are not on the administrative post, they should feel that their opinion is also sought out and they are also respected members and their opinion is also respected. The last is the performing stage. The structure at this stage is fully functional and accepted. Group energy has moved from getting to know and understand each other to the job of task performance. Then this is complete, the forming, storming, norming and performing, and the task is completed. And after that, we have to see what are the factors in a group dynamics. By now, we have come to know what is a group, what is the role of class as a group, how the behavior of an individual is influenced in a group, and what do we mean by group dynamics. Group is the collection of individuals and group dynamics is the forces which influence or which react or act on the members of the group and how the person is influenced. So, we will discuss here what are the factors which influence or what are the factors in group dynamics. First is the individual goals and group goals. See, when any new individual, any new member join any group which is already formed, see the objectives, goals and everything is already decided, clear. So, sometimes it becomes very difficult for the new individual to maintain his or her identity in the group. If he or she, which is the new member, imposes his opinion or expresses his opinion in a different manner, it is quite possible the group goals are different to the individual goal, and that new member has to be excluded out of that group. So, first of all, the individual has to follow, has to accept the goals of the group. Then later on, after becoming the acceptable member of the group, may express his or her opinion in a different manner. So, individual goals and group goals sometimes clash and the group is distorted. So, we see that the group goals and individual goals influence the group dynamics, influence the group. Then the cohesiveness. Cohesiveness is a very important aspect which influences the group dynamics. We have already discussed that what is cohesiveness. Cohesiveness is to what extent, to what degree the individuals or the other members want to remain in a group. Definitely, when the opinion or dignity of individual members is respected in a group, or their opinion is taken care of in a group, the individual will definitely want to remain in the group. And there are other factors which we include in cohesiveness. First is the goal. What are the goals of individual members and what are the goals of the group? So, individual has to see that the goals of the group are in the benefit of each member who have joined the group and in the benefit of the community and the society. Then the size of the group also matter. It should be large enough that diversity of the opinion should be come out, and it should be small enough that the opinion of the individual member is expressed by each and every member. Then discussion. Now, discussion is a very good therapy, a very good strategy to reach any conclusion. If there is no discussion, there is no correct conclusion. Each and every member should have the opportunity to discuss on the issue which is being discussed in the group. So, there will be established a democratic setup. Only in a democratic setup the individual is able to express the opinion. So, discussion is a very good strategy to reach a conclusion. When there are two minds or more than two minds, definitely opinion or the values or ideas will be different, but when it is discussed in a group, then one conclusion can be reached. Then the communication. Communication is must. If there is no communication, there is no agreement. So, if people are sitting in a group, they must communicate on the topic, because when people or the members of the group are getting the chances to communicate, then definitely it is likely that some kind of conclusion, some kind of result will be reached. Then the participation and loyalty. It is clear that everyone has to take participation, but it will be possible when the performance or the task or the activity on the part of each member will be decided that you have to do this and you have to do this. And loyalty is very important part in the cohesiveness in the group dynamics. One has to be loyal to the group. If each and every member is not loyal to the group, then the group will lose its identity. And the next is the competition. Competition is must for the group, but see, it should be a healthy competition. There should be no feeling of rivalry and jealousy in the members of the group. And the democratic procedure. There should be democratic setup in a group. If there is democratic procedure, then each and every member will stay happy. As in the beginning I had said that it is essential for each and every member to stay happy, because if members are staying happy, then they would like or to contribute to the benefits of the society, to the benefits of the group. Need satisfaction is must. When they are happy, then they can make the others member of the group happy. So, it is like contagious. When you are happy, you will just spread the happiness in the group. So, it is essential for the need satisfaction. Then after knowing what are the factors in group dynamics, it becomes essential for us to understand, to know, to throw light on the methods. What are the methods to improve group relationship in the class, because it is beneficial for the students, for the learners, for the members of the group to know that how the relationship can be improved, how the performance of the group can be improved, and as well as for the teacher. Teacher must know the knowledge or the skills of the group, that what are the techniques, how can we improve the methods to skills of the students. See, first is the methods, teacher's behavior. First is the teacher behavior. Teacher behavior is an example. Teacher behavior, if the teacher is able enough that what are the goals, teacher should have discussion in the classroom, then effective communication, cohesiveness, counseling, tours and visits. Teacher must take them on the tour, on the visits, so that when they go on the tour, on the visits, they can learn more and more, because in this way when teacher take them to the tour, can enhance the feeling of cooperation or just tolerance, because when the group is moving in a group, we see each other, we help each other, we cooperate each other. This way we see that these are the methods to improve. I am repeating, first is the teacher's behavior, how a teacher sets his or her model as an example, because if for example, I am giving you the example that we want to improve the relationship or the mannerisms of the students. If the teacher itself is the punctual or honest in his behavior, then definitely students will follow the punctuality and honesty of the teacher. And the second discussion, when teacher is giving them opportunity to discuss, to express their opinion, then it will be beneficial for the learners to improve their relationship. Then effective communication, cohesiveness, counseling, tours and visits. Then the next is the, I want to say, on sociometry. What is sociometry? To study an individual, it becomes necessary to see the child the way he or she is seen by his or her peers, because we have seen that sociometry is very important. In group dynamics, we have discussed that there are the various factors which influence the behavior of the individual, like teacher's behavior or the discussion or the communication. After knowing the factors in the group dynamics, it becomes essential to know what is the interrelationship in a group, meaning by to see how the individual is seen by his mates, by his peer group members, because as in the personality development, Allport, even a great psychologist, has said that it is essential to know what kind of personality is ours, to see ourselves by the opinion of the others. I mean, what others are thinking about us and what others are, how others are having opinion about us. So, sociometry is that kind of a technique. By sociometry, we try to know what are the interrelationship and what kind of opinion the other person are having about us. So, it is a technique it was devised by Moreno, and later on it was accepted by Jennings in the classroom situation. It is very important to see that what are the sociometry techniques. By this technique, according to Andrew and Wheeler, a sociogram is a graphic drawing using certain symbols and marks to indicate the pattern of social acceptance and rejection among members of a social group. It is the method for describing and evaluating social status, structure and development through measuring the acceptance or rejection in a group, because in group dynamics, I have spoken that it is essential to know how and what are the techniques, what are the factors which influence the members of the group. And after knowing that what are the factors which are influencing the members of the group, it becomes essential what others members are thinking about us, because it is essential for teachers as well as students to know what others are thinking, because if one comes to know that I am being disliked by my group members, or I am like rejected by, or I am isolated, then it becomes essential to improve the personality. So, this I have shown you that suppose we make a table and we take 10 members, chooser or the chosen.
Definitely, ma'am. We are talking more and more on group dynamics, and I hope that all the students who might be watching us right now would be getting more and more information on group dynamics. The students are able to understand how when a person is in a group is influenced, what changes in the behavior took place when person is studying in a group. So over to you, ma'am, again, as we are heading towards the lecture and we are discussing more and more on this lecture. Dear friends, we would like to tell you all that if you have any queries regarding this particular lecture, then after watching this lecture you can mail us at info.cc@nic.in. We would love to take your queries next time when Dr. Parveen Sharma visits our studio. So, ma'am, sorry for interrupting you, but please carry your lecture forward.
You know, I was talking about sociogram and sociometry. We try to make a matrix. Suppose we want to know how an individual is rated by the other members. So, for this we try to make a table. We take 10% chooser and 10% which are the chosen. We make a table. For the chosen, we make a vertical matrix, and for the choosers one, it is the horizontal. Then we ask the students to vote for a person. Then we see how many members have voted for an individual. Sometimes there is the mutual choices and sometimes it becomes a chain. For example, we have 10 members. We see, for example, that there is a member who is named as 9 number. 9 number say all the students are asked with whom you would like to go for a picnic, whom you would like to be a president of your society. For this we ask for voting, and we see that 9 number has said that first voting for the 4 number, but 4 number has not said acceptance for the 9 number. 4 number is saying that I would like to go with the number 1. So, this way 9 is opting for 4 and 4 is opting for 1 and the 1 is choosing the 4. So, this way 1 and 4 they are giving the mutual acceptance, and other way as I have said there are 10 members. We see for example, number 5 and number 10, they did not get any vote. So, we can say they are the isolates of the class. No one is willing to go with them on a picnic. No one is willing to sit with them on the next in a bus on with them on the seat, and there becomes some kind of chain even. For example, 5 is preferring 3, 3 is preferring 6 and 6 is preferring 7. There is no mutual. So, in this example of 20 group member of 20 groups, we have seen that only one group have mutual, 1 and 4. They have said they have chosen for 1 and 4 mutual grouping. So, this way this kind of sociogram and sociomatrix is very helpful for the teachers as well as for the learners, because this way if we see as I have given in my example that number 5 and number 10, they did not get any vote. So, they are isolates of the class, and first and 4 they have number 4 has received maximum vote. So, that number 4 is the star of the class. So, this way 5 and 10 or the who has not received more voting, they can improve, they can analyze the behavior. What is the lacuna, what is the drawbacks in my behavior, why my classmates are not choosing my name, why they do not want to go with me on a picnic, on a tour. So, this way this sociogram, this technique is very helpful to know the behavior of the individual. So, this way I would like to conclude that we have come to know what is a group, how an individual is influenced by the members of the group, its values, its goals and objectives, and what are the group dynamics and its factors. And in the third part, we have discussed what is sociometric table and what are the sociograms. Sociogram, I am again repeating, it is a technique to know the interrelationship of the individuals in a group, because this way we can as teachers, we as a student can come to know what are the drawbacks in my personality, in my behavior, and what are the techniques should be adopted by the individual himself or herself or as a teacher to improve the interrelationship. So, this is what we mean by sociogram. And lastly, I will conclude that this is a very important technique to improve the behavior of the individual in a group.
With this note, thank you ma'am, thank you so very much for explaining us in detail about the group dynamics, as we have some questions over here. So, I would like to know through you, as we have discussed throughout that how the group behavior in a group, the behavior of the individual changes, a person changes. What is the importance of a group as a whole?
Fine, you have asked a very important question. What is the importance of a group? You know, man is born alone, but he moves in the society. He naturally he has to learn the mores and traditions of the society. So, this is the group only where he acquires the skills of adjustment, because there when an individual is playing with the group members or peer group, then learns how to tolerate, how to cooperate, how to behave. So, this kind of mannerisms or the values of the society one learns when moving in a group.
If we talk about the role of the teacher in group dynamics, then what would be her role or his role?
Fine. Teacher's role is very important. First of all, teacher behavior itself should be a model one. If the teacher wants to know the lesson of tolerance to the students, first the teacher himself or herself has to be a model of tolerance, or want to teach the lesson of cooperative living, teacher has to be a model for that. Then the students definitely will follow that skill, and moreover can give the opportunity in the classroom, can take them for example on a tour. Then he can notice what are the lacuna in the behavior of the students, then he can teach their the feeling of we feeling and how to live with each other.
When we are talking about the role of the teacher, and when we are deciding how teacher plays an important role in a group, now the question arises, when a teacher is handling a group, then is it a justifiable or is it a justification on the part of a teacher when a teacher segregates the students within a group, that this is a category of low performers and this is a category of high performers?
I mean, it should be modified, it should not be a segregation. You know, we have discussed that a student or a child learns in the group, but teacher has to see the capacities, interest or talent of the each individual. Suppose a teacher has to assign some project work, some group work, then that kind of grouping, teacher has to understand where to place that individual, some intelligent students, some average, and each kind of member. There should be diversity, because these days we are talking about multilingual groups. So there are the students of different religions, different castes, different caliber. So teachers should not segregate, but should be grouping on the basis of intelligence and moreover likings and interest and aptitude, so that the best performance should come out from the students.
Definitely, the role of the teacher here is to make every student capable of doing a particular work, a particular task. Now, another question is, what are the uses of making sociometry or a sociogram?
Fine, very intelligent question you are putting. So, after knowing the factors in a group dynamics, this is clear by our talk that it is very important to know the individual on his or her part, that one learn more and more in the group, and factors, various factors are influencing the members of the group, as we have talked about attitude, beliefs and values and traditions and cultures and aspirations of the teachers, aspiration of the parents and the individual itself. But the question arises, why do we make sociogram, and what is the need of, is it the right question? So why do we make this kind of sociogram? When we come to know in group dynamics that the behavior of the individual is being influenced by the other members, so it is important on the part of the learners or the part of the members to know why I am being disliked and why the other member is being liked most by my peer group. So this way one's individual can analyze its own behavior, what are the drawbacks in my behavior and what are the strategies, and this way teacher can help the students in the class itself when sees that some of the students are most liked and some are very cooperative, some are very helping, some are very obedient and some are aggressive. Teacher can try to find out the reasons underlying the behavior of such kind of students, why they are not accepting the goals of the group. So this sociogram helps the teachers as well as the students to improve their relationship, improve the behavior. That's one.
So this is the definition, and how we could make use of the different perspectives and the aspects as told by Dr. Praveen Sharma to us. Now as we are talking about the group, so communication is an important element. What crucial role does communication plays while in a group?
Yes, very important. Suppose we form a group, but there is no democratic setup, and as we have said, it is essential that the powers must be vested in the hands of the higher authority of the group, of course, because if everyone is starting giving his or her opinion, then there will come anarchy in the group. So members of the group has to follow the decisions of the authorities or where the power is vested, but it is essential that each and every member should get the opportunity to discuss. They should communicate their ideas, that I feel this way and I feel this way, this is my opinion. So when every individual in a group sees that his or her opinion is sought out and he or she is getting the chances to express, so this way they can communicate their ideas. So it is essential rather that communication must be there in a group. After communicating their ideas, any final decision can be reached. So and moreover, I would like to tell you that we can classify the groups in three categories. There are three kinds of group. First is the primary group. In primary group, there is face-to-face relationship like family members. We are having close relationship. But in the secondary group, we meet for some time, like short time, suppose trade unions, or we suppose we join some club. So in the members of the club or in the members of the trade union, the relationship between them will not be as strong as in the members of the family. And third is the tertiary group. We meet for some time, then till that time, during that period, our goals or the objectives will be same. Like we can say tertiary group is the audience in a cinema hall. So there are three kinds of groups.
This is how we learnt about the different kinds of groups, as we have a very less time left over here. Now the last question to you is there any point where the objective of the group fails, or what are the causes when we feel that no, the group so formed is not able to perform or is not able to activize itself?
Yes, this I had taken in the stages. On the first stage is the forming, when group is formed, but after second stage sometime it happens some member of the group, they start resistance to the goals or the decisions which are given by the authority. Then there comes the anarchy. They say these decisions are not accepted to us, then sometime the group is distorted. So this kind of situation comes sometime when the suppose there is some president or chairman of the group, they do not seek the opinion of the other members and they become authoritative. Then in that case it is definitely going to distort.
Definitely, whatever points Dr. Sharma has explained us in this lecture, I hope that all the students who have studied this lecture with the help of our live lecture, I hope that you might have liked this the topic as a whole. And dear friends, if you have any suggestions or if you feel so that a lecture could be conducted on a particular topic, then you would definitely mail us at info.cc@nic.in. So, Dr. Sharma, what else are we going to study in the future sessions?
We will definitely, we can take placement services.
Definitely. So, hope so we would be conducting a lecture on placement services for you in a near future. We would now say that if you want to access this particular lecture, then I would say that very soon we are going to upload this lecture on YouTube. You can access this lecture, as well as you can jot out the points, and afterwards if you feel that there is something left which you were not able to grab in the lecture, then you can mail us, you can ask questions, you can give your feedback, as well as you can give your suggestions, as you can mail us at info.cc@nic.in. And as we have promised that we would be meeting again, we would be discussing one or more lectures, one or more topics very soon under the subject called education. And I hope that you have connected well to us. We would be meeting again very soon. Till then, take care. Goodbye. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so very much.